Well, Pep Guardiola.
Halo. Sebentar. Tes. Halo. Iya. Apa kabar teman-teman? Saat ini saya lagi iseng aja ya, mau nonton Manchester City dan sebentar. Oke, ya sudah kick off ya. Wait. Oke, sebentar. Oke.
Years Champions League winners as recently
against the champions, albeit the champions perhaps with one or two notable absentees, but still a very, very powerful Manchester City looking team. I think early on it's going to be very interesting to see the way that Chelsea set up, the type of football that they're going to play, how confident the players are, how sure they are of the system that Enzo Maresca needs.
Rico Lewis to Jeremy Doku, who has started on the right wing, Savinho on the left. Lewis continuing the run, but he had little room to manoeuvre.
And Connor as well. Looking forward to seeing Savinho. Enzo Maresca will be hoping that the likes of Nkunku, know that he came in last season and Romeo Lavia, who we've not seen an awful lot of, saw nothing of last season. He'll be hoping that those guys can really show their worth and their value.
Seems to be a new Chelsea manager in the dugout every time that Pep Guardiola comes to visit Chelsea. This is his 9th Premier League visit to Stamford Bridge. Enzo Maresca, the 7th different manager that Guardiola has faced in those 9 years. Chelsea's starting 11 today, very young, an average age of just over 23. It's actually the second youngest side ever named on the opening weekend in the Premier League era. Just goes to show, if Enzo Maresca's looking to drive his Chelsea revolution, he's showing his faith in youth.
Yes, he's going to have to. There's an awful lot of good young players to choose from. Cole Palmer, of course, fresh from adding a couple more years onto an already very long deal. He starts on the right side. Interesting to see how long he waits out there to get involved, whether or not he's going to get Roman and others maybe cover the space that he leaves. I think he needs to play as close and in behind Jackson as possible when Chelsea have the ball. That's his best position.
Kovacic. Kevin De Bruyne. Savinho. Gusto got a touch which guided it to Robert Sanchez. First Premier League appearance of 2024 for the Spaniard. He was overtaken as first choice by Jure Petrovic last season. Chelsea a bit sloppy in possession there, but Marc Cucurella, who had a wonderful time at the Euros in the summer with Spain, quickly winning it back for his team. Down goes Rico Lewis, fouled by Christopher Nkunku. Tall order for Chelsea today. No surprise that Manchester City are favoured on the win probability. Can Enzo Maresca's side swing those numbers in their favour as this afternoon progresses?
I mean, City's bench today, Conor, is incredible. It's Kyle Walker and Stones and Ake Grealish and Phil Foden, they're all on the bench. But as you mentioned earlier, no Rodri today, and that's always such a key player for City.
And to Doku, and trying to spin into space on the back post, but the attempted cross goes straight out of play.
There's a lot of room there for Jeremy Doku. When he picks that up, again, it's a little bit sloppy from a Chelsea point of view. No pressure on the ball, he's got loads of time to have a look. With that in mind, that's a poor delivery. Should be better than that.
It's actually clever movement by Haaland. He was able to find space in that back post area, which will be of early concern to the Chelsea defence. And here is Nkunku. Edison thought about coming for that, then retreated. Good challenge by Rico Lewis. It's the sort of work rate that Manchester City fans so admire in him. Caicedo. Palmer. Chelsea's player of the year last season. Cole Palmer. Malo Gusto. Very good to see Wesley Fofana back fit again. He's had a terrible run of luck with injuries for 3 years, really. Gusto showing a bit too much of it to Guardiola, but despite Chelsea calls for a corner, this is going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, just got away from Malo Gusto. I was impressed with him last season. A very good decision there, actually. Look, I think we all felt that was a Chelsea corner, but might have come off the Chelsea man in the end. But he was really impressive last season. I enjoyed watching him. He's great energy, all those attributes nowadays that you need as a fullback.
Malo Gusto provided a lot of opportunities on the right-hand side last season. Only Cole Palmer had more Premier League assists for Chelsea. With Diaz, who played for Portugal at Euro 2024 in Germany in the summer. So Pep Guardiola back into the thick of it once again. Last season, City, the first club in the history of English top-flight football to be crowned champions 4 years in a row. They are unbeaten in their last 23 Premier League games, stretching back last season. 1 defeat in their last 30. Those are Guardiola's standards. Komen. Colwill to Fofana. Lavia. Both games, home and away between these clubs last season, were draws. 1-1 in Manchester in February. Here at Stamford Bridge in November, one of the most exciting games of the last campaign. Finished Chelsea 4, City 4. Kovacic. Manchester City were without Rodri for 4 Premier League games in all of last season. They lost 3 of the 4. He is an immeasurably important player.
Very, very difficult to replace. I mean, Mateo Kovacic has bags of experience, and you couldn't wish maybe for a better player in his absence to be around. But there's no doubt Rodri is supreme at what he does, and they're going to miss him.
Here's Savinho finding Bernardo Silva. Good defending to get across. Just in the nick of time by Levi Colwill.
Yeah, important that as well. Erling Haaland was waiting in the box, picks up a nice position there. Savinho just drifts in off the line, slips that one to Bernardo Silva. Maybe could have cut that back had he have looked just a fraction sooner.
Bernardo Silva scored City's late goal against Manchester United to force a shootout in the Community Shield. Whistle had been blown before the ball came down. Enzo Fernandez given the duty to keep as close an eye as possible as he can on Erling Haaland. I think that's touch tight, you'd call that, marking.
I tell you, never ceases to amaze me, you know, how, or even why players feel the need to grapple. And it's really, really interesting that.
Fantastic pass, Enzo Fernandez to Malo Gusto. Guardiola sliding back to City. Good buoyant atmosphere inside Stamford Bridge as Chelsea get another corner.
Great ball, wasn't it, that? Into the middle of the park, and then very quickly shifted out to the right. Malo Gusto will be a little disappointed with his delivery.
Palmer, Fofana. 2 goals for Chelsea in the past, one of the Premier League, one of the Champions League. Both came 2 seasons ago.
Little short corner, drop back again. Cole Palmer whipping it in. Plenty of room for Wesley Fofana there, right on the penalty spot, but again, never an easy chance, that one on the volley.
Chat dong teman-teman yang ada di sini, boleh kasih
So back from Akanji. Checking on Komen. It's going to be a good battle between those 2. It's the Spaniard who gets the best of the Belgian there. Good hustle from Savinho against Cole Palmer. Guardiola. Rico Lewis. Doku. It's onto his left boot, and it's a shin more than a boot. Promising build-up, but disappointing outcome for Manchester City.
Yeah. We've been used to seeing Jeremy Doku off the other side. When he's looking to go to the byline, then checks back and chops back and delivers something with his right foot. course, when he does that now, he's on his slightly weaker left side.
Manchester City had 13 players involved at Euro 2024 over the summer, including Doku. That is more than any other club. Chelsea, by contrast, had 6. Lewis. Doku swarmed by opponents. Lavia with a touch for Chelsea. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Support to the far side, Palmer. Casado. Lavia. Palmer. Jackson. Nice interchange. Kovacic filling in the Rodri role to perfection for City there.
Yeah, excellent challenge.
To Doku. And again, Cucurella is not standing off, is it?
No. Quite right. Cross-field pass like that doesn't find Jeremy Doku's feet. That's the best thing when you get them facing the touchline. Keep them that way. Squeeze them, push them that way, force them backwards.
Lewis. Doku. Cucurella strong again. Holding his balance. And a warm applause around Stamford Bridge for Marc Cucurella there.
Yep. It's going to be a good battle between these two. Marc Cucurella has not had it easy since he's been at Chelsea. His form has been patchy at best. Towards the end of the season, we started to see in that run that Maurizio Pochettino had that was showing signs of promise, he was better. And then, of course, his summer was terrific. Went remarkably well for him. So hopefully full of confidence now, completely reinvigorated, he can show the Chelsea faithful exactly what he's all about.
Malo Gusto, important interception by Josko Goriol.
Yeah, and he's got Enzo Fernandez screaming for the ball there on the halfway line. That's a poor one.
Careless by Savinho, his first mistake. Jackson. Ruben Diaz got his body in between the attacker and the ball, and then Nicholas Jackson's adjudged to have fouled Ruben Diaz. Free kick to Manchester City.
It was a sloppy ball actually initially from Savinho. Ruben Diaz does well just to get back and get his body in, and once Nicholas Jackson puts his arms up in and around his shoulders, he's always going to get the benefit of the doubt there. It's pretty much the first point in the game that Nicholas Jackson has received the ball. 13 odd minutes in.
Colwell, foul on Kevin De Bruyne. Romeo Lavia, just a little tug in the arm of the Belgian.
Yeah, great first touch from De Bruyne, took him away from Lavia. Again, he didn't want to see him disappearing at the distance, so just did enough to grab him. There's a little switch, Doku now off the left side.
Finding De Bruyne, too close to Robert Sanchez. It's the first tactical switch of the new campaign as Pep Guardiola swaps his wingers.
Yeah, he's a completely different player when he off that side, when he's coming inside on his stronger right foot, as he can either knock it into De Bruyne or Haaland and get it back, get a shot away, or he likes to then go towards the byline and he almost run all the way along the byline before he cuts something back. He's very, very difficult to mark on that side of the field.
Imagine that Manchester City switch might be taken as a bit of praise for Marc Cucurella.
Yep.
He'll feel that he's dealt with Doku admirably in the first quarter of an hour. Kenji for Lewis. Doucouré again, what a start he's had. His first Premier League game since becoming a European champion. He wasn't, however, expecting the back heel from Jackson. Well, doesn't that just sum up how confident Manchester City are passing along their own goal line? Tightrope stuff.
Yeah. To knock it beyond the goalkeeper, straight to your other centre half, the other side of the box.
Doku turning into Caicedo and fouled. Fofana. Former Chelsea player Kevin De Bruyne up against his old team today. He only ever made 3 Premier League appearances during his time here at Stamford Bridge. Cleared by Cousteau. Manchester City goalkeeper Edison turned 31 years of age yesterday. 31 for the number 31. Doku. Bernardo Silva onto Haaland, and he's got it in! He took his time, but cool as you like, from Erling Haaland on his 100th appearance for Manchester City. That is goal number 91.
I'll tell you what, he does fantastically well, Erling Haaland here. The way that he gathers this ball and then very quickly just manoeuvres it perfectly onto that left foot, and then knows he's got to just dink that over the top of Robert Sanchez right at the vital moment. But his footwork is supreme here. It's really good. It's a real fast ball whipped in. There's a little touch there from Bernardo that drops it. But that footwork there, in a crowd scene with the dark blue shirts closing in on him, is brilliant. That little deflection just there drops it in for him. Then he's got to get it right. That's brilliant. That's brilliant play. And a glorious finish.
Video assistant referee is checking to be sure that Manchester City remained onside here.
It's just Bernardo, yeah. That's the one. When this ball was fired at him from Jeremy Doku. Does it look like, from that angle, Wesley Fofana's right leg is a little deeper? It does, but you can never quite tell from that sort of situation. I think it's fair to say we've got a tight one here, Connor.
Bernardo Silva, who scored the winning goal against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final last season. His deft little touch setting up Erling Haaland to score. Nothing wrong with the completion from Haaland, but the deliberation here is whether the Portuguese international was onside, and those green lights would indicate he was. So Erling Haaland, the Premier League Golden Boot winner in each of the last 2 seasons. Only 2 players have ever won the Golden Boot 3 years in a row. Alan Shearer did back-to-back in the mid-90s. Thierry Henry did in the mid-noughties. And this is the first on the board for Haaland for the 2024-25 season. These sides met in a pre-season friendly a few weeks ago. Haaland got a hat-trick. His first chance of the new campaign, delivers his first goal.
Yeah, took that very well. It's not the sort of finish we're accustomed to seeing from Erling Haaland, is it? But just goes to show how good his footwork is and close control. And of course, once he does get beyond that last defender, you almost don't doubt that he's not going to find the back of the net. And a very cute, clever little finish. Not raw power, just clipping that over the top of the goalie. Excellent work. I think as well, Connor, seeing the influence of Doku again earlier on in the move from this position, when he can shape to go down the line or step inside and find someone. He did it brilliantly there towards Bernardo.
So a very positive start for the champions. How will Chelsea react to this? Savinho. It's the start of Erling Haaland's third campaign in England. He has now scored in his opening game each time. Scored against West Ham on his Premier League debut, scored against Burnley in the opening game of last season. Here is Kevin De Bruyne, just couldn't get the bend at the end of a shot that looked threatening as it left his boot.
Lucky, lovely run from Savinho, skipping right across the park. De Bruyne just sees a little gap, doesn't he? Steams into it, just can't wrap his foot around that. Just kind of blocks it to his right. But nice attempt, lovely run.
Delicate footwork from Savinho, but the ball had gone out of play. So, first test in his new job for Enzo Maresca. He's not only worked under Guardiola at City, but he's played under some big-name managers in his career. He'll have learned an awful lot, Enzo Maresca. Played under Carlo Ancelotti, Marcello Lippi, played under Juan de Ramos, Zico as well. He is the 7th Italian to manage Chelsea. Continuing a proud run of managers from that nation: Vialli, Ranieri, Ancelotti, Di Matteo, Conte and Sarri. But it's a Norwegian who once again is centre stage for now.
Chelsea got to try and wrestle a bit of possession away from City. Caicedo, Lavia and Enzo. At the moment, whenever the ball goes back to Fofana or Levi Carwilcher, those centre-halves tending to look long towards Nkunku or Jackson. Can they find those midfield players who can start playing some 10, 20-yard passes, which will be far more accurate?
Colwell back to Sanchez. Oh, that's high risk. Cucurella. The midway point in the first half. And Chelsea have yet to get their creative juices flowing. Cucurella. Nkunku, who looked sharp in pre-season. Christopher Nkunku scored in 3 pre-season friendlies in a row. Caicedo put under pressure by Mateo Kovacic.
And that good run at the back of last season for Chelsea coincided with Caicedo, Conor Gallagher, and Cole Palmer playing more often than not as a number 10. Today he finds himself in that wider area, waiting for service. And he is their most influential player. He is their most creative force, no question.
Free kick to Manchester City again. Malo Gusto with the foul on Jeremy Doku. Jackson trying to lean into Kovacic, but the Croatian too strong. And there's a hesitancy from Akanji, and Nkunku will look to pounce. And the whistle saves Manchester City. It's a foul by Nkunku on the Swiss international Akanji.
Good pressure from him though. That's good play, that. Immediately rushing that pass and just rattled Akanji a little bit there. Wasn't a lot in it, but enough for Anthony Taylor to give that decision in City's favour, but that's good pressure.
Caicedo. This young Chelsea team re-established themselves after going behind to Erling Haaland's strike.
City quite cleverly, look, just front screening Cole Palmer. Doku doing that really well, so it's awkward for a centre-half to find him. That's a good tactic. Try and stop him from getting it and allow others to have it. That's fine. Can you try and get close to Cole Palmer and stop him from getting the ball?
Cole Palmer, who perhaps benefited from a little bit of people not quite looking out for him at the start of last season, but this time around he will be a marked man in every game.
He will indeed.
Here he is. Kukurea continues to impress. Here's Nkunku. Lavia. That's a good ball. Palmer. Too many sky blue shirts back for City. Lavia. Chelsea showing a bit of endeavour here. Can they keep it up? Video assistant referee did look at the challenge on Palmer on the edge of the penalty area, but it was all checked and clear. Enzo Fernandez. Christopher Nkunku. Crystals on the back post. Caicedo. Better possession this from Chelsea. More authority on the ball. Kukurea. First time he's popped up on the left. But in the end, much too close to Edison. City immediately spring into action down the other end.
Waiting for others to join in. That was so quick, that break. De Bruyne just casually keeping it and saying, where are you guys?
Savinho. The Brazilian trickery. Able to beat Levi Colwill with the cross. Kanji shuts down the attempted Chelsea counter. Almost half an hour into Manchester City's new campaign, and the reigning champions already laying down a marker to suggest to the others they are going nowhere.
Yeah, stunning goal, a brilliant goal from Erling Haaland, considering he hasn't seen an awful lot of the ball either. But it was exceptional footwork and a classy finish.
Jackson. Another interception from Lewis, who's had a good game. Kyle Walker on the bench for Manchester City today. This is his 16th year of football management. Pep Guardiola, be it in Spain, Germany or here in England. He's looking to win his 13th title in those 16 years.
Chelsea taking their time across the back to the goalkeeper. It's trying to find those midfield players. Enzo, as you can see there, just on the left-hand side of the screen. And maybe Cole Palmer trying to roll the ball into them where they can get it on the half-turn and then start running at Akanji and Diaz and Guardiola and co. At the moment, Chelsea's struggling to find that pass. It's not easy.
With lurking, but Lavia here hoping that he's started to spring the trap. Gusto, that's good. Enzo Fernandez, touch was heavy. Savinho leaning into it. That was inside the penalty area, and referee Anthony Taylor had a close look at that. The referee's call on the pitch is play on.
I wonder whether Anthony Taylor feels that actually Enzo's touch is a poor one and it gets away from him and then hits the floor. I think that's probably what he's looking at there. There's no doubt Savinho is the wrong side, but that's already gone. That control has let Enzo down there. And I think then he feels something in his back, he hits the floor, but the ball's long gone. He's lost control of that. Savinho has to be very careful in that sort of situation. A forward player coming back, wrong side, trying to nibble at the ball, that's always highly dangerous. I think Enzo's touch there, had it been a tighter touch, a better one, he might well have got the benefit on that decision.
Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez. Jackson's chest too firm. Fernandez, who was hounding in on Edison there, seemed a little frustrated that his colleagues weren't applying as determined to press. Here's Cucurella, Guardiola for City. And now Caicedo. Palmer. That was almost perfect from Cole Palmer. Lavia in on De Bruyne again. Romeo Lavia's influence is beginning to increase in this game. What a touch this was, though, from Cole Palmer.
Yeah. It was a great touch. Again, difficult, though, to have that drop perfectly in front of you, ready for the next one. Some good pressure around the ball again from Chelsea there.
Savinho's given Cucurella the slip this time. Arriving is Kovacic. Cucurella got back into position, and it was he who made the block. Now Jackson looks well offside here. No flag yet. Gusto on the far side. Nicholas Jackson. Blocked by Guardiola. Gusto. He took his time, Gusto, and in the end he overcooked the cross.
Honestly,
and this is
that's a crazy example of that, though, isn't it? How daft that is, really. One thing is waiting to see what happens. I mean, there's not a lot in it, but he is offside.
Adam Nunn, the assist on the far side, they are instructed if there is an uncertainty to wait till the end of the move, but that move did go on quite a while.
It did, didn't it? It's just that a lot can happen, and we've often seen it, Conrad, where players can get injured in a subsequent action, and you can see Guardiola's frustration there. Everyone in the ground kind of felt that Nicholas Jackson was offside. It's a little closer, perhaps, than even I thought, to be honest, but it was off. Risky one from Guardiola there, they just about got away with.
Rico Lewis. Savinho, he's had some sparkling touches, he's enjoying himself. Kovacic. Savinho. Won back by Nkunku. Akanji. And it's coming out of final. Enzo Fernandez, free kick to Chelsea. And in their haste to clear, Chelsea have landed themselves in trouble. Wow. What a save from Robert Sanchez. There was a menace on the shot from Jeremy Doku.
Certainly was. He hit that really well, and he got a deflection, which meant it was dipping viciously right at the last moment. That was coming back under the bar. That's a really good stop from Robert Sanchez, but you can see the deflection there. That's a really important stop.
Bit of pressure on him today, given the myriad of goalkeeping options available in the Chelsea squad. He'll want to impress. Beaten already, but that was a very good save from the Spanish keeper. Away by Levi Colwill. Guardiol. Blockless for Faros. Palmer perhaps a little fortunate to hold on to it there. Enzo Fernandez can't keep it. Savinho. Bernardo Silva, who provided the assist for the Haaland goal. Good defending by Enzo. What Chelsea fans want to see. Cole Palmer in full flight. Nkunku. It's a great ball. Jackson. Enzo Fernandez. Corner.
Good play that. Really good move from Chelsea. Deep in their own half, and they got it out down that right side where Cole Palmer was able to travel for the first time in the game really into a bit of space. Steps in, has a look up. Beautifully weighted pass to Nkunku. And the set from Jackson. Unfortunately for Enzo, there's 2 or 3 light blue shirts right in front of him. That was nice football. Good break.
Cole Palmer remains the most likely candidate to inspire something for this Chelsea team. With time running out to level things up before half-time. Haaland's header for City. It's really good control by Savinho. Supported by Doku. Haaland's got space in the middle here if the Belgian can find him. Now De Bruyne. Now Bernardo Silva. Play on, says the referee. There had been a foul on the Belgian. Sanchez with the save. Still alive. De Bruyne still down.
Yeah, he's got wiped out there, Kevin De Bruyne, completely. And I think Anthony Taylor let the advantage go. But they might have preferred City there to have the free kick where it was.
Three players down on the ground at the moment. Savinho, De Bruyne, and also one of the Chelsea defenders.
Yeah, that pass would have found the target to Haaland, but certainly there. It looks like Moises Caicedo has really clattered into De Bruyne. Not a yellow card challenge, that? I think it is. I think that is.
His injury track record, Manchester City fans will always wince when Kevin De Bruyne's on the receiving end of a challenge like that. Good to see him back up on his feet. Savinho is slower to recover.
Again, if he's struggling and all the subs are warming up, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, imagine it would be one of those two.
Well, we've got a break in play. It is worth looking back at this. A little touch from Bernardo Silva, who was fractionally onside. to create the chance. And he didn't snatch it, did he? That was composure.
Was
from Erling Haaland.
Not easy there. In such close quarters, getting the first touch right is the all-important one. Quite right that the coach celebrates, because that was a very, very good goal. Beautifully taken.
Back in business. He looks relaxed, he looks rested. Norway didn't qualify for the Euros. Haaland has been waiting for this return of the Premier League for a long time. Straight back in the goals. City for the moment temporarily with 10 as they await the return of Savinho, who does look like he's going to be okay to continue. Closing stages of the first half, in which it's interesting, Andy, Chelsea have had more of the ball, but Manchester City have done more with it.
Yeah. They kept plugging away, Chelsea. They've had one or two nice moments, and again, I think when they've applied some genuine pressure and a higher press on City, they forced a few issues and forced a few mistakes out of them. I mentioned before the game, this is not a City team that's absolutely flying at the moment, and they're without some massive personalities in their team. So it's an opportunity as well for Chelsea today to really try and force a few errors out of them. I would just like to see Cole Palmer involved more. I just think off that right side, yes, a couple of times they've managed to release him, but I just think he can do more with the ball than any of the midfield three that are currently in there.
Held up by Lavia. It's been an all-action performance from Romeo Lavia in this first half, in alongside Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo in the engine room for Chelsea. This time last year it was seen as such a coup for Chelsea to sign Romeo Lavia. Here is Palmer. Now, can he get a bit of space?
Ooh,
it's a first shot on target.
Oh, goal! Chelsea!
Nicholas Jackson, but the flag is raised on the far side.
Lucky. Obviously don't know how tight this call was. Ederson surprised he spilled that. Decent enough strike from Cole Palmer, but one that you think the goalie should hang on to. Let's have a look. We've got the perfect angle here. You can see Nicholas Jackson, he's offside. Yeah. He's just kind of ball watching a little bit, but he's anticipating that something might come for him. It certainly does, but unfortunately he's just off. That would have been huge for them. Look at the clock, right on half-time, to have found a way back in it.
Apart from Darwin Núñez, Nicholas Jackson was the Premier League player caught offside most last season. How that would have changed the whole mood around Stamford Bridge going into the break had Chelsea got it back to 1-1.
Massively. It would have changed it massively. It really would have.
And these are the narrow margins of Premier League football. Bernardo Silva a hair's breadth onside and City score, and Nicholas Jackson a hair's breadth offside, and he's denied.
But I'm sure Enzo Maresca will use those little moments like that at half-time to try and motivate his players, say, look, fine margins, come on, keep going. Only one down, we can get back in this. Been very close a couple of times.
Lavia. Jackson. Nkunku. Up to 5 minutes being added on for stoppages. Chelsea probably enjoying their best spell. The man should be quite happy if they didn't have a break coming up in a few minutes, but let's see what they can do between now and then. Here's Lavia again. Getting him on the ball a bit more. Nkunku. The outlet here is Malo Gusto. Finds Jackson. That is very neat. Kovacic slides in for City. Fair tackle. Down goes De Bruyne. That was a foul. It's the 5th time that Anthony Taylor has refereed a game between these two clubs. Yeah, he was in charge of that epic 4-4 game here last season.
Chelsea players complaining a little bit about the challenge from Kovacic on Nkunku, but I think he did actually get the ball. Unfortunately, Nicholas Jackson just clipped Kevin De Bruyne as he was sprinting away.
So Enzo Maresca about to have his first half-time team talk as a Premier League manager. Doku away from Gusto. Bernardo Silva waited for it to come to him, and Lavia spotted that as an opportunity to lunge.
Good defensive work that from Romeo Lavia. Really important challenge. I think it was Rico Lewis that was just in behind Bernardo Silva, was waiting maybe to receive that.
Takes a tumble. The referee's happy that Malo Gusto did nothing wrong. Here's Lavia. Palmer. Chelsea fans urging speed in these transitions when Chelsea look to turn defence into attack. Enzo Fernandez tries to go around Ruben Diaz, then there's a connection with Guardiola.
He felt something there, Enzo. Again, the ball just got away from him at that crucial moment. It's just whether or not Ruben Diaz, in crumbling to the floor, kind of catches him on the outside of his ankle. I think he does, you know. Just here, there.
Just as he falls, Ruben Diaz, he wraps his left arm around Enzo Fernandez's leg.
He just got his foot trapped under Ruben Diaz a little bit there. And I don't think that's going to be overturned at all. And of course, nowadays with the new directives, the referees call more often than not. We're going to see, I think, the VAR guys just backing the referee in the on-field decision.
There is Todd Bowley. And Chelsea spending on new players this season has been just over £150 million. That is more than any other team. And it takes the total outlay on new Chelsea signings since Bowley took charge of the club to just shy of £1.2 billion sterling. All 3 summer windows so far under Todd Bowley, Chelsea have been the highest spenders. Tosun, who didn't cost anything, he came on a free from Fulham. And there is the man who's come from Barcelona, Marc Guiu. That was Pedro Neto, wasn't it, alongside Guiu. And there is Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, who Maresca knows all about from being at Leicester last season. Together putting pressure on Malo Gusto. This is Palmer. Closing seconds of the first half at Stamford Bridge. Jackson. Now Nkunku. Is he onside? Takes on Lewis. Rico Lewis stood firm. City haven't got it away. Down goes Nkunku. The on-field decision, no penalty. We can safely say that Chelsea are finishing this first half better than they started it.
Pushing, they certainly are. Great ball from Nicholas Jackson.
Today's video assistant referee is Michael Salisbury, assisted by Dan Cook. They have looked at the interaction, the penalty area there. It's all been checked and cleared. Agreement with the on-field decision from Anthony Taylor. There is the whistle for the break. Erling Haaland right back into the groove. His goal midway through the first half, giving Manchester City the lead. Nicholas Jackson thought he might have equalised, but disallowed for offside. Chelsea finishing the first half, though, in a manner to suggest this ain't over yet. For now, in London, Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1.
Man City memulai musim kali ini dengan cara bagaimana mereka mengakhirinya di musim yang baru saja berlalu dengan Erling Haaland membuka keunggulan. Aksi impresifnya menyambut umpan dari Bernardo Silva dengan sangat tenang di aksi ke-100-nya untuk Man City. Siapa lagi kalau bukan Erling Haaland yang memberikan keunggulan bagi City di Stamford Bridge atas tuan rumah Chelsea 1-0.
Dari sisi momentum ya, ini sebenarnya nggak beda ya, setelah gol
ketepatan waktu sangatlah penting, makanya saya selalu pilih Shopee. Urusan belanja online ya di Shopee, karena ada Shopee garansi tepat waktu, gratis voucher kalau telat. Yuk beli semua di Shopee.
Sesuatu yang menyerah begitu saja. Ya, menurut kalian gimana pertandingan? Menurut saya cukup berat sebelah sebenarnya. Gedor ya, mulai arah pertahanannya.
Ya, pertandingan antara Chelsea dan juga Manchester City sejauh ini telah rampung di babak pertama dengan Manchester City unggul dengan 1 gol. Namun tentu saja pertandingan belum usai. Kita berharap akan ada kejutan lainnya, terutama tentu dari sang tuan rumah dengan manajer barunya. Namun tadi bagaimana melihat babak pertama?
Iya, banyak positif yang bisa diambil oleh Maresca dengan melihat bagaimana perkembangan dan penampilan pasukan Chelsea menuju akhir persaingan. Mereka lebih memegang kendali, create a lot of chances, dan bagaimana Nico Jackson sebenarnya punya 2 golden opportunity, tapi gagal untuk bisa disarangkan menjadi gol balasan bagi Chelsea. Dan lini tengah sudah mulai hidup dan sudah mulai ada kesempatan bagi Caicedo dan juga bagi Enzo Fernandez untuk bisa lebih melaju untuk menopang serangan. Dan Cole Palmer harus lebih banyak libatkan lagi, karena ketika dia tampil mendominasi tentunya dia menjadi satu opsi algo terbaik ya bagi tekanan bagi Chelsea. Sayangnya memang Man City punya Erling Haaland yang kembali meneruskan aksi terbaiknya di mulut gawang. Dan ini lagi-lagi ya musim baru dengan cerita lama. Haaland mendominasi dengan membuka persaingan sangat positif dengan golnya, dan ini return yang luar biasa. 67 persaingan di Premier League bagi Haaland, 64 gol sudah dia ciptakan, dan ini aksi ke-100-nya bagi Man City sepanjang dia berkarir di Inggris. Dan lagi dengan gol yang begitu dingin dan sangat tenang di bawah pressure. Kukurea tadi mismatch sangat sulit untuk bisa menghadang Erling Haaland untuk bisa meraih gol yang sangat didamba oleh pemain raksasa dari Norwegia ini.
Ya, berikut ini pemirsa kita juga tengah melihat highlights dari babak pertama. Ini merupakan momen di mana Haaland berhasil mencetak gol pertama untuk Manchester City di menit ke-18. Seperti biasa ya, Haaland tampak sangat tenang, dan ini salah satu hal yang sudah diprediksi dan diharapkan oleh seluruh pendukung Manchester City. Ya,
dan bagaimana dimulai dengan pergerakan dari Jeremy Doku yang begitu agresif, kemudian sentuhan dari Bernardo Silva penting sekali ya untuk bisa mencetak Erling Haaland. Ini hanya aksi ke-5 touches di kotak penalti bagi Haaland di babak pertama, tapi sudah berbuah 1 gol, dan ini juga effort lagi yang hampir saja menggandakan keunggulan Man City di The Bridge. Dan lagi sangat-sangat berbahaya ini upaya yang ditawarkan oleh Doku dan para pemain City untuk bisa lagi menambah gol. Beruntung walaupun ada slight deflection tadi, Sanchez mampu melakukan save yang sangat apik.
Ya, dan ini ya, ketika Chelsea masih berusaha untuk merobek gawang dari Manchester City, ini banyak tendangan yang akhirnya harus terbuang, Adi.
Ya, tap-nya harus lebih baik dan harus lebih klinis bagi Chelsea. Sedangkan kalau kita melihat situasinya di zona pertahanan dari Chelsea, bagaimana para pemain City bisa dengan mudah men-switch play dari sisi kiri menuju ke area sentral, kemudian menuju lagi ke arah berlawanan di sisi yang tentunya akan membuat adanya ketimpangan bagi pertahanan Chelsea, dan hampir saja dalam sudut yang sangat sempit tembakan bisa dilepaskan, tapi lagi-lagi Sanchez mampu menghadang tadi upaya dari Bernardo.
Ya, dan tadi juga kita melihat ya, ini bagaimana tendangan dari Nicholas Jackson di menit ke-44 dianulir karena offside tadi.
Iya, Nico Jackson sudah dalam posisi offside tadi ketika menyambut bola, dan ini kembali keadaan yang kurang menguntungkan bagi Chelsea ya. Ini dia satu aksi dari Jackson yang setengah langkah di depan dari last defender Man City, dan ketika dia melesakkan bola melewati hadangan dari Ederson, di-call sebagai situasi yang offside tentunya.
Ya, dan berikut ini kita melihat rangkuman statistik dari laga first half tadi. Sang tuan rumah terlihat memang mendominasi, namun ini sangat tipis sekali ya. Dan juga bagaimana kita melihat shots on targetnya. Justru Manchester City telah memiliki 3 shots on target.
Ya, banyak yang berharap mungkin City lebih dominan dan mereka lebih nyaman dalam possession, tapi tidak demikian karena Chelsea punya game plan yang sangat baik tadi untuk mengganggu, mendisrupt flow yang coba diciptakan dan juga ritme yang terus diganggu dengan baiknya penampilan para gelandang dari Chelsea. Tinggal bagaimana finishing ditingkatkan, dan mungkin banyak juga menganggap bahwa City harusnya bisa lebih tenang, harus lebih dominan dengan mereka punya pengalaman ya dalam situasi seperti ini, tapi belum diperlihatkan dengan baik tadi di babak pertama.
Ya, baik pemirsa, selanjutnya kita akan lihat lebih dekat proses terjadinya gol yang dicetak oleh Erling Haaland di menit ke-18 lewat gol analisis berikut ini. Ya.
Ya, kembali ya, ini sebenarnya build up dan juga mirroring ya dari Chelsea. Maresca juga ingin seperti ini sebenarnya, build up dengan slow pace dari pertahanan, perlahan menuju ke sektor lapangan tengah, dan mulai ketika bola dilontarkan ke sisi flank ada intensitas yang ditingkatkan, dan ini membuat tentunya ada gangguan yang cukup disruptif ya kepada kenyamanan bertahan dari sebuah tim, dan itu tersaji tadi dengan kita lihat electric pace yang bisa ditingkatkan oleh Doku sepersekian detik ketika movementnya dimulai di sini. Ada satu gerakan cek ke dalam yang membuat situasi benar-benar berubah, mengambil 3 pemain bertahan dari Chelsea, menjauh dari Bernardo Silva, menjauh dari Erling Haaland, dan ini situasi yang lagi-lagi ya dimanfaatkan dengan sangat jeli. Ini dia masuk ke Caicedo juga membuka lapangan tengah, dan didominasi oleh Haaland yang melakukan pergerakan yang begitu impresif. Ada mismatch yang tidak bisa dikawal oleh Colwill dan juga Cucurella, dan Bernardo Silva juga berperan dengan asisnya yang ke-43 ya. Ini adalah rekor asis yang sama dengan kompatriotnya Luis Nani. Ketika Luis Nani membela Manchester United, ada 43 asis yang diberikan, dan Bernardo Silva bisa melewatinya kalau ada 1 asis lagi yang diberikan di laga kali ini.
Iya, dan juga selain itu kita juga akan membahas pemirsa bagaimana Enzo Fernandez ini tadi akhirnya mungkin ada sedikit kekecewaan ya karena tidak diberikan kesempatan untuk penalti.
Ada beberapa penalty shout yang dilakukan oleh Chelsea ya di babak pertama, termasuk ini momen ketika ada kesempatan bagi Enzo Fernandez, dan ini serangan yang dimulai dengan aksi dari Cole Palmer, kemudian bola akan diarahkan ke area sentral dan kontaknya terlihat jelas tadi, tapi referee Anthony Taylor on pitch mengatakan tidak ada pelanggaran karena Enzo Fernandez sudah miscontrol bola, dan ini menjauh dari posisi di mana Enzo Fernandez bisa menembak ke arah gawang, walaupun memang ada kontak yang gegabah ya dari Savinho. Andai saja first touch-nya lebih baik, maka tentunya pelanggaran bisa didapat oleh Enzo Fernandez, dan ini on pitch call-nya disetujui oleh VAR dan tidak ada hukuman berikutnya bagi Man City.
Ini harapannya bisa menjadi sebuah alasan untuk membuat Chelsea lebih melecut lagi ya.
Iya, harusnya akan termotivasi karena kita lihat tadi di babak pertama cukup banyak kesempatan bagi Chelsea untuk bisa menyamakan kedudukan, bahkan membalikkan keadaan. Asal saja Nico Jackson, Nkunku yang tadi juga tampil sebenarnya sangat baik ya dari sisi flank sebelah kiri, harus bisa lebih klinis, harus lebih tenang lagi ketika mendapatkan kesempatan, dan bagaimana nanti ada distribusi yang lebih baik juga dari lini kedua. Dan saya pikir ini masih menjadi kesempatan bagi Cole Palmer untuk perlahan menemukan lagi bentuk penampilan terbaiknya, dan akan menjadi salah satu key component bagi Chelsea untuk bisa terus mempersulit langkah City mempertahankan keunggulan. Ya,
nanti kita akan melanjutkan pembahasan khususnya terkait prediksi jalannya pertandingan di babak kedua nanti. Pemirsa jangan kemana-mana, kami akan kembali setelah jeda berikut ini.
Ketepatan waktu sangatlah penting. Makanya saya selalu pilih Shopee. Urusan belanja online, ya di Shopee. Karena ada Shopee garansi tepat waktu. Gratis voucher kalau telat. Yuk, beli semua di Shopee.
覚悟はできてるよな。証明しろ。俺は呪術師だ。
Jangan lupa Partai Generasi Sejahtera ya.
Sejak lo pacaran sama Raka dari kampus dulu, gue tau banget Raka tuh sebutin apa sama lo.
Aku gak ngelakuin apa-apa sama Wira.
Ya, pemirsa, sebelum kita bergabung kembali ke Stamford Bridge untuk melihat jalannya pertandingan babak kedua antara Chelsea dan juga Manchester City. Adi tadi sempat menyebutkan bagaimana mungkin skuad Manchester City bersama Pep Guardiola bisa dikatakan mereka sudah punya vibe-nya, mereka punya chemistry-nya dan membuat mereka itu menjadi salah satu kekuatan mereka di lapangan. Mungkin itu juga salah satu challenge yang masih dirasakan oleh Maresca ya bersama dengan Chelsea. Namun sekiranya apa nih strategi yang akan dihadirkan oleh Maresca di babak kedua?
Ya, mungkin Maresca juga akan melihat ke masa lampau bagaimana treatment dia dengan Conor Gallagher dan juga manajemen Chelsea. Gallagher di nomor 10 mungkin akan berperan lebih agresif dan lebih dominan ketimbang Enzo Fernandez yang mungkin di posisi ini kurang nyaman. Dia sebenarnya di nomor 6 lebih tampil baik bagi Argentina, bagi Benfica, bagi River juga, dan ini situasi yang kembali berulang bagi Chelsea di mana mereka membutuhkan sebenarnya energi dari pemain nomor 10 yang belum terlihat untuk bisa melakukan koneksi dan lebih cepat memberikan bola baik kepada Jackson, Nkunku pun juga kepada Cole Palmer. Ini belum dipertunjukkan sama sekali oleh Enzo yang kerap kali justru ketika hampir ada momen untuk dia bersinar dia terjatuh, dan ini keadaan yang tidak optimal tentunya bagi Chelsea yang harus dicermati dengan baik, dan waktu masih sangat panjang bagi Maresca untuk bisa memberikan masukan-masukan bagi salah satu bintang andalannya untuk tampil lebih impresif.
Ya, sangat setuju Adi, mengingat ini juga bisa dikatakan awal musim ya dan juga awal karir Maresca di Chelsea. Namun apakah akan terulang keproduktivitasan yang dihadiri oleh Pochettino bagi Chelsea dan akhirnya membawa Chelsea berakhir di posisi ke-6 di musim lalu?
Iya, sangat menantang ya, sangat sulit, dan juga ini adalah laga bagi manajer Chelsea dengan debutnya 4 manajer dengan hasil yang tidak optimal di laga pembuka menghadapi defending champion. Sebelumnya ada Rafa Benitez, ada Avram Grant juga yang punya rekor yang tidak impresif, pun juga dengan Claudio Ranieri. Dan Man City dengan rekor mereka ini unbeaten di 65 laga Premier League terakhir ketika unggul di halftime dengan 58 kemenangan yang mereka raih. Ini luar biasa, dan Erling Haaland kita lihat sudah menciptakan 5 gol di opening day bagi Man City di 3 season dia berlaga di Premier League. Dan Foden sepertinya masuk mungkin menggantikan Savinho yang mengalami kendala cedera, padahal Savinho di first half tadi tampil luar biasa bagi Man City.
Ya, kita akan melanjutkan kembali dan menyaksikan laga mereka. Kami dari studio mengucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
It's the end of the first half. So it is Erling Haaland's goal that separates the teams. It is over 3 years since Manchester City last threw away a half-time lead to lose a Premier League game. Usually once they get their noses in front, they hold on to it. But Chelsea did show some indications towards the end of the first half that they may have a second wind in them.
Yeah, there were signs of encouragement, weren't there, for Enzo Maresca? Again, just trying to push and force, and 2 or 3 big shouts for potential penalties they never got. the time it's just one. What they mustn't do is sit off the game and then allow City to score a second and then start having a go. It's too late. Can't do that against this team. You've got to do it now. So they need to come out, start this second half and really keep applying pressure, turning that ball over and being brave in possession.
Phil Foden's introduction in place of Savinho, the only change across the two teams. Here is Doku. Foden starting wide right. Jeremy Doku here on Manchester City's left. The nearest defender.
Great outlet, Doku, isn't he? Brilliant, because he can dribble with it, can keep it. He's always trying to be decisive, make something happen. And if you just need him to relieve a bit of pressure, buy your team a bit of time to get up the field, he can do that as well. He's very, very good player.
Savinho did create the most chances for City in the first half. He completed the most dribbles too. But Phil Foden is not a bad replacement to be bringing on in these circumstances. Kovacic. Too close to Gusto. It's a really poor ball by Robert Sanchez. De Bruyne in the way. Big relief for Chelsea that wasn't more costly.
I've seen a few of those over the weekend. Goalkeepers a little careless with the ball at their feet. That one there, Robert Sanchez again gets away with it.
Jackson. Ruben Diaz. Guardiola. Manchester City have replaced Savinho as a precaution as much as anything. He has come back out for the second half. He's sitting on the City bench. He's got an ice pack on his knee. Manchester City fans will hope that it's not going to affect his participation in forthcoming games. City, who host newcomers Ipswich Town at the Etihad next weekend. It's their first home league game of the new season. City will be back in London, West Ham away, followed by Brentford at home, and then City have got a really big game on the early season horizon. They host Arsenal Sunday, September 22nd. Ruben Diaz. Kanji to Kovacic. Jackson trying to unsettle. Kovacic unflustered. He runs into Caicedo.
Yeah, if you dwell on the ball in the middle of the park, Lavia and Caicedo good at that. They won't give it up. They'll keep chipping away at you, trying to get it back.
Palmer. Jackson couldn't turn it. Didn't sit up for Enzo either. Once again, Cole Palmer asking questions of the Manchester City defence.
A great ball, isn't it? Really good, because he kind of stops it there, Cole Palmer, and you wonder where he was going to go with that. He finds a brilliant angle there. And just a better communication maybe between Jackson and Enzo.
This is Nkunku. Enzo Fernandez, who has been the most advanced of the Chelsea midfielders today, central midfielders. He's been up in that number 10 role. Conor Gallagher involved, who was on the verge of a move to Atletico Madrid, which may still happen, but has not been completed yet. Here is Enzo Fernandez, another successful time with his international colleagues over the summer, winning Copa America with Argentina. Misplaced back springs, groans from the Chelsea faithful. Still does well to make amends, mind you. Caicedo seeking out Jackson, and anticipated by Edison.
Run, lucky. Right idea again, just trying to run off the back of central defenders. Goalkeeper in a good position to just come and get that.
So quickly accelerates from a standing start. To Guardiola. Doku again. Bernardo Silva. Haaland! Good save, Sanchez. He wasn't quite into the corner from Erling Haaland, but the keeper needed to react.
Great play again, De Bruyne and Doku. The pass just ends up. Bernardo rolls it to Erling Haaland, first time strike. Sanchez is a big man and he was able to leap to his right and comfortably save that one. Good chance that for City.
Warning sign for Chelsea. 1-0 down is well and good, and very much a chance of a Chelsea comeback, but 2-0 to Manchester City and the home team would be in trouble. And normally that's the kind of opportunity that Erling Haaland finds the back of the net with. Foden.
Helps so much if you're really confident and capable of keeping the ball. City are the best at it because it's a boiling hot day here today. It really is, as it was yesterday at London Stadium between West Ham and Villa, and the pace noticeably dropped at the start of the second half yesterday.
Hot pursuit by Nicholas Jackson on top of Edison. Chelsea are the best spell towards the closing part of the opening 45 minutes. As you can see, Manchester City reasserting a dominance here at the start of the second half.
Not many times actually you see a team with better numbers in terms of possession against Manchester City. Chelsea did keep chipping away without playing brilliantly, but not out of this yet.
It's a good touch by Nkunku for Cucurella. Phil Foden back helping the Manchester City defence. Chelsea have pushed quite a few bodies forward here. Should even look to counter. Haaland cut late by Wesley Fofana.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a foul. I think again Wesley Fofana's lucky to get away with it without a card there. It's a bit rash, and I understand Anthony Taylor not wanting to be too petty and pedantic. It's important that he's not. There's been one or two, I think, that have stepped slightly over the line.
There goes down. Bernardo Silva, a little nibble on his ankles. A bit of Iberian conversation to follow up that. Spaniard and the Portuguese. Himself in the sprint here. All didn't stay in play for him. Clean pair of heels from Fofana in the chase, mind you. Not many can keep stride for stride with Jeremy Doku. Chelsea lost to Wolves here in February, but that was their only home defeat in their final 13 Premier League games here at Stamford Bridge last season. Can they harness that home advantage to find a way back on level terms here? Not this time, because Nkunku control the ball off the field of play. Lavia's pass to Nkunku. Lavia, whose only Chelsea appearance last season, he came on as a substitute in the win against Crystal Palace in December. Lavia to Caicedo, play to Palmer. It's unfortunate there. Malo Gusto would have had acres to himself had it not been intercepted.
Yeah, all the players you'd have expected to make that pass would have been Cole Palmer. It was a good run from Malo Gusto, and he had tons of room.
In the first half, Andy, about trying to get Cole Palmer involved a bit more centrally to get the best out of him.
Yep.
Chelsea preparing replacements down in the technical area. Could be a few switches coming up.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Bernardo Silva. Blocked by Colwell, cleared by Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez, referee says that's not a foul by Akanji, despite the protests of the Chelsea crowd. So here is Pedro Neto, Chelsea's most expensive new recruit of the summer. He will come on in place of Christopher Nkunku.
Which probably means it's kind of like for like in terms of the shape. Talented boy, this guy too. He really is. Just unfortunate too many times in the Wolves shirt he was out injured, but he can stay fit. He's a proper player.
Christopher Nkunku, who's struggled to make a big impact in his hour or so on the field. Nkunku yet to score for Chelsea here at Stamford Bridge, but it's a big welcome for the new man. Premier League home debut in Chelsea blue for Pedro Neto. Guardiola. Kovacic. Showed too much of it to Caicedo. Caicedo. Fancy that himself, Bernardo Silva got in the way. This is Enzo Fernandez. Neto is arriving. And Rico Lewis denied Pedro Neto a debut goal with virtually his first touch.
Yeah, that would have been some introduction, wouldn't it? Great ball from Enzo. It's the right delivery. Really is a good ball. And Rico Lewis does really well to see it and get back and make sure that he sweeps it away. Takes a knock off the post as well in doing so, but really good ball from Enzo, that.
Enzo Fernandez sends it in. Fofana away by Kovacic. Jumping to ground was good. There's Doku. Tried to shrug off Malo Gusto. Lavia had kept up with Erling Haaland stride for stride, and it was very important he did.
Yeah, actually Erling Haaland's peeling towards the far post there, and Jeremy Doku rolled one almost to his feet.
Palmer knows how quick Neto is. Rico Lewis is no slouch. Just a little mood shift around Stamford Bridge. The positivity, the enthusiasm is very much there from Chelsea fans. for now to play. Neto. Caicedo. Back out to Pedro Neto. Enzo Fernandez. Malo Gusto. Just looks it up for Palmer. Lavia back in. Jackson! Saved by Edison.
Wow, so that is...
Chelsea have found a new gear. An urgency to continue too. However, Nicholas Jackson's got a problem here, stretching to attempt that shot. He's hurt himself. Edison was quite relieved this was in his own general direction.
Yeah.
The other side, he'd been in big trouble.
Enzo won that first header, and then when it comes back in here, Nicholas Jackson, I mean, if he hooks that along the floor in either corner, goalkeeper's not getting it. Not an easy one, that. You're watching it over your shoulder. Unfortunately, he hits it pretty much straight at Edison and makes a good save. But again, good pressure. I think Lavia and Caicedo have done well when they're recycling the ball for their team, getting their foot in, breaking those City passages of play up.
Caicedo, Neto, bounced up onto his shoulder and he wasn't able to control it.
Come at him pretty quick there, didn't it? That one for Pedro Neto. Just got away from him again. Goalkeeper's nice and smart, getting off his line and grabbing it.
Zareska has seen the introduction of Pedro Neto spark new attacking invention into his team. He's preparing to bring on another attacker now. Mark Gil, new recruit from Barcelona, is ready for his introduction. Here's Foden for City. To Guardiola. Foden. In by Neto. Kovacic.
Well played.
Bernardo Silva. City perhaps realising that Chelsea had enjoyed a good spell there, just trying to take some of the fizz out of the game at the moment, just slowing it down to their tempo. De Bruyne. Doku. Foden's at the far post. She's aimed towards him.